In Danfoss we have a very common use called ESG, and by that we also need to focus a bit on the strategy towards having a more greener planet and do things smarter and more efficient. And we do that by monitoring the energy consumption on critical machinery, but also on plant level. We have an organization working entirely with the monitoring of electric usage with compressed air, cooling water, etc. But right now we have only been able to look at the plant, and we haven't really been able to get down on the machine level on the shop floor. And with adding the energy monitoring part of Blackbird, we actually been able to get down on every machine level to look at what consumption they actually are using right now. And it has been quite an eye-opener, especially in these times where energy prices is increasing. Our energy consumption right now is monitored on, you could say, at high level, where we look into the plant and the consumption in the plant, but also on machine level in the different work areas. And by that we're using Blackbird to monitor directly from the electric usage on the machine, communicating wireless into the cloud and into the Blackbird platform. So we can go in and see how much has actually been produced on the line, but also we can go in and see was it actually proportional to the energy consumption on the line. And we can also see if the line is on standby, how much energy consumption is really used on the machinery, and has been quite an eye-opener to us to see if we don't have booked in production for a weekend and the standby power supply to the machinery is on, we can actually see it's actually quite high. So by closing down the machinery 100% automatically, we can actually save a lot of money into the electric consumption. Yeah. Just as we started out with Blackbird at a pilot level, we also started out the energy monitoring on a pilot level. We have chosen 3 different machinery in our plant. Some of it is test machinery within the hydraulic industry. And in that industry, it's very key that the hydraulic fluid is warm, and it has some different preferences we need to take care of within the machinery. But we have seen that by closing down the machinery in smaller periods of time, we can actually save up to 10% of the electric consumption on the machinery, just by shutting the machinery down in the weekends. In order to track the different factors we have in our strategy of saving energy, we have developed digital performance boards where we can see an overview of all the machinery, the performance, the output. Actually, we can turn on cameras to see it in real time. And our strategy within the energy saving project is also to add the energy saving into our digital performance boards. So imagine having to see that for the last 24 hours you produced maybe 1,000, and how much did you really use in electric consumption, in compressed air, in hot water, cooling water, etc. And by that we can have an eye-opener to really what we should focus on in order to save more energy, because as we are a big company, there's a lot of different plants out in the world that maybe doesn't really have the same focus as we have. Since we are quite new factory, newly renovated, we have the newest media supply, and by that of course it's easier for us to develop against a more green and sustainable production. But it's something definitely we have a high focus on.